What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here again. Sorry if my voice is a bit croaky after last night. Yeah, England are at the World Cup.
Couldn't come home. Didn't come home. Tried to manifest it. Didn't happen this time. It's all down to one German. It's all his fault.
Someone told me he's a German spy.
You know what? Harry Redknapp was spot on. Double agent. He's now a hero in Germany. They're building him a statue, apparently.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, what a gutting game. It was a classic, World Cup classic last night. But England on the wrong end of it yet again.
Did they not know not to anger the GOAT by now? Like, come on. What was Bellingham doing? I don't even blame Tuchel. I blame Bellingham. How can he anger the beast like that?
I know.
The GOAT.
Once you see that face with Messi with that, like, all right, you know, is that how it is? Is that how it's going to be? All right, fine. We'll see who's smiling at the end of this game. But it was such a captivating game, and I thought England played it perfectly for an hour, and then what's the opposite of perfect? They did it for the last half an hour, because that defensive, pragmatic instructions from Tuchel was so long to go. We were playing like a League Two team for half an hour. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. All our players, we had 4 centre-backs and 2 full-backs. And O'Reilly, I think, in midfield. It was nuts. The whole thing was insane, what we were doing for that last half an hour. And we got punished for it. I thought Tuchel got his lineup spot on. You know, Rodgers gets that assist. Spence come. Oh, by the way, let's talk about Spence. What a guy.
Right, Sir Jed Spence. Jed Spence was phenomenal. He locked down that side so well. That tackle, I'm sure everyone out there celebrated it like a goal, because I definitely did. If we would have won that game, you know, mentioned it before, that tackle would have been spoken about for a long time.
I think he would have won man of the match if he won that game. He was sensational. Not only defensively, which he obviously was brilliant, but I thought going forward as well, he was causing trouble. I think I counted like 3 nutmegs, I think he did, on one of their fullbacks, and he was getting to the byline. He was putting crosses in. He was helping out Gordon. I thought that whole setup was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I thought bringing in Spence for this game was a inspired selection from Thomas Tuchel. But then he changed it all up. I think when he goes to that back 5, all of a sudden no Gordon there to help him. He's got Messi to deal with. He's got De Paul to deal with. He's got their right back to deal with as well. And it's like, why did you do that, Tuchel? Jed Spence was in his element. He was absolutely had that side on lock. And then all of a sudden he isolated him. He played him at wing back. And all of a sudden he had 3 players to deal with no Gordon as well. And Messi was getting all the time in the world. He probably couldn't believe his luck. He didn't have to do anything to get all this time. And all of a sudden he's got acres and acres of space to just do whatever he wants. And if you give Messi, of all people, that space, oh my God, it's mad that every delivery, he just doesn't waste the delivery, does he? It's crazy. Every single one is on the money. I understand that, but it's just, I think because we haven't been, England have never played against Messi, right? So we're always in a position where we get to like marvel at his genius and marvel at his incredible talent without like having to think about how we're going to stop him, because he's always playing against other teams. But now we're like watching him playing against our team, and it's like a different feeling, because it's like, obviously we know he's the GOAT, but it's like you watch him, it's like, how does he do it? Every time he gets the ball, you give him literally half a meter, half a second on the ball, and he puts it on a plate every single time. He must have created about 5 chances before they went on and scored the 2 goals, and he ended up assisting both winners as well. That last 20 minutes was just, I mean, I've seen good Messi performances. I'm not saying it's one of his best, but that was just, it was incredible. It was incredible to witness. As much as all the shit England were putting up, those last 20 minutes from Messi when he was running the game was just something to behold.
I think, like, there's been a couple of times, like, when you see Messi performances now against your team, England, and Tottenham at Wembley. Like, I remember watching that game, sitting there in Wembley, being just in awe of watching this guy play, because that performance he put in that day at Wembley was just like, wow, like, I can't believe I'm watching this in front of my very eyes.
And he was, in his 20s at least then, was he? Maybe early 30s?
And that was a long time ago. That was, 2018?
Yeah, so he's 39 now. So, yeah, he must have been 30-ish, yeah.
So, like, that was Messi, like, in his prime, playing for Barcelona. And last night, it's Messi at 39, and he's still ripping up shreds.
It's mad. He completed 9 out of 11 dribbles. How are you doing that at 39? How even, I don't even know many 39-year-olds who are even attempting 11 dribbles, let alone completing 9 of them. He created 4 chances, obviously 2 assists as well. I think 4 big chances, sorry. The cross for the winner, unbelievable. On his weaker foot, it was just simply just incredible, absolutely incredible. What a performance. But I think England only got themselves to blame. England had him locked down for an hour. They didn't have any influence, and they just changed everything up. And it was one of the biggest self-sabotages I've ever seen. England had Argentina right where they wanted them in the perfect scenario, 1-0 up. They're going to have to chase the game. You've got Rashford, you've got Saka who can come on. You've got maybe even you want Kobe Mainoo come on to slow the game down. You've got options. You've got Watkins. He can run the channels. Even if you want to lump the ball to him, you have him as an option. And he brings on Concert, and he goes to a back 3. Then he brings on Burn, and everyone's retreated, not even to the edge of the box. Literally, like it seemed like the edge of the 6-yard box we retreated to. Like Enzo Fernandez for the goal. He's right on the edge of the box. He's got all the time and space in the world to line that up and shoot. And it wasn't the first shot he had in that game. The whole thing was absolutely farcical. It was farcical how Tuchel managed that game. And that was our best chance. Obviously, we had a very good chance in 2018 to get to the final, but it was such an opportunity to get to the final yesterday. I know Argentina, I know Mugs, they're a good team. You can't take them for granted. It was always going to be...
in the last 4 World Cups.
Yeah. It was always going to be difficult to beat them, but we had the beating of them. We absolutely had the beating of them, and we surrendered we surrendered the ascendancy yesterday massively, and it was so gutting to witness because everyone... It was so weird. I think the country as a collective could see what was going on, and we were like, "What are we doing?" And then everything Tuchel did to change it was making it worse and worse and worse. And it was like everyone could see it was making things worse, except for the man who's made the decision. So it was crazy.
Shut the bed, the manager yesterday. And it is what it is. It is what it is. It's another disappointing campaign for England. Even though we did get to the semis, I never really thought it was coming home. I didn't get that feeling. And you know what? There's too many Arsenal players in the squad anyway. I felt a lot more patriotic back in 2018 when it was packed with Spurs players, that England team. But look, we move on. We move on, and we can put this behind us. We can all get on with our lives now and concentrate on Tottenham, because Tottenham are back on the pitch next week, people. Literally in less than a week, 6 days, and Tottenham are back in pre-season. So... We go again.
That's it. Look, another tournament down the drain. Another more years of her added to the list, added to the song. But Spurs are now back in town. We've already seen we'll get into the training footage and everything they posted. Finally, some ball playing ability on the training pitch. I'm looking forward to that. So there's some footballs on show. So not just gym work. We get to see that later. And yeah, now everyone can turn our attention to Spurs. Now England out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I said to someone yesterday, I'd prefer to see Spurs win the League Cup than win that game, than England win that game yesterday, and I still stand by that. So, club over country every single day of the week. Come on, you Spurs. We're nearly back in action. Let's get... Well, there's a lot of Tottenham news to talk about, but before we do that, look what has arrived for me today. Brand new Spurs shirt from OK Jersey. Get yours, 10% off. The link is in the live chat as well as the code as well. 10% off. Spurs is your code, and it is fantastic. The quality on this, look at that. It really is nice, man. Very
Beautiful.
plain shirt. I'm waiting for my away shirt to come as well, so I'm more excited for that one. But look. It's here.
Best replica shirt on the market. Look at that.
And get yours. Get yours. Look at it. I'll stand up for you. It'll be a lovely model.
Do a little 12. There you go. Best replica shirts on the market. And go check them out. And they're great quality. Came pretty quickly. Is for delivery.
Yeah, get a size up, by the way, guys.
Get a size up.
As people say, delivered worldwide, people. Delivered worldwide. So wherever you're watching from, you can get one.
Use our code SPURS for 10% off. It's already so cheap, but it's even cheaper with our code. So don't forget, if you're going to order, use our code SPURS.
Yeah. He was saying, hi guys, what size are you wearing? As mine was small, even though it's a 4XL. This is an XL. I usually get large. This is an XL, and it fits nice, I think. So
yeah, looks good as well. This is
yeah,
also an
just
okay
one size
jersey, by
up
the way.
usually.
Trading. This is the trading shirt from last year. Also pretty. This is I think this is also an XL. Fits pretty nicely. Nice fit. Good quality. Just no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so get yours today, people. Link in the live chat. 10% off using our code SPURS. And talking of Spurs, it is time to get into some Spurs news. That's why you're all here. So let's get straight into it. And let's start off talking about Lucas Bergvall. Some developments. Apparently there has been a bid rejected from Nottingham Forest. John Percy says that Tottenham have rejected an initial bid of around £38 million from Nottingham Forest for Lucas Bergvall. Forest are set to make a second offer with Bergvall their number one target after the sale of Elliot Anderson. Spurs valuation is understood to be circa £50 million. Jay Harris as well, saying as well that Spurs have rejected an opening offer for Lucas Bergvall. Despite not agreeing a fee, Forest's interest in Bergvall remains and negotiations are expected to continue. And Himothy says that he understands that Tottenham and Nottingham Forest are confident of reaching a agreement over a deal for Lucas Bergvall. Spurs are not holding a grudge on Forest. They want to mend the relationship.
Ooh, what do we feel about that? Mending the relationship with Marinakis, getting him back in our good books.
Like dancing with the devil.
Yeah, not sure about that. Not sure about that. He's the one who kidnapped our one of our targets. And wouldn't let him out until he signed a contract by hook or by crook. He's the one who should be bending the relationship with us, not the other way around. Obviously, I understand we made a bid. We found out about this release clause. That was a bit underhanded, but the way they dealt with it was ridiculous as well. I mean, the way Marinakis dealt with it. So I think give us the cash that we want, and maybe we can let bygones be bygones. Who knows?
Yeah, and maybe just throw in a Morgan Gibbs-White.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that either. Yeah, look, I
thought who was the report from a few weeks ago saying that we had rejected a bid
for Gibbs-White?
No, for Bergvall. We already heard that Spurs already rejected like 45 million bid, didn't we?
45. I think it was 45 million euros. Was it? Yeah, we did hear that. I don't know who it was from. But the Telegraph, yeah, they also after with the Tonali bid, we heard. That we had a bid rejected for Tonali. They reported it quite a long way after that it was actually happened. Anyway, if they've bid £38 million, we're looking to £50 million. That sounds like a deal that can be done there.
I mean, £38 million is more or less 45 million euros, so maybe it's the same bid.
Yeah, maybe they're talking about the same thing. Wouldn't surprise me. But I think what Himothy's saying, they're both confident. I mean, if that's the price, I mean, if they got to 45 plus 5, something like that, that sounds like a deal that can be done there.
Which is a shame. We've spoken about it to death, to be honest. It's a shame to see Lucas Bergvall going, not only because of the player he is or the player he can be, but also because of the squad numbers, which we'll do another video a bit later on that. But it could be detrimental letting all these players go in terms of building a squad to compete in Europe for next season. But just on the face of things, look, he wants to go, and if he wants to go, we'll get good money for him. So it is what it is.
Do you think there's in the report it says they want him to be the one who replaces Elliot Anderson? Is he up to that?
I mean, Elliot Anderson's obviously a top player, £100 million player now. I think maybe he can get there in the future. He's not there yet, obviously.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But they're going to assuming it for next season.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'll be disappointed with him next season or whether he'll grow there. We'll see.
It's definitely a downgrade. I mean, that's obvious, but he's a player with a very bright future. So you're never going to replace like for like and get the exact same player, are you? Or it's hard to get the exact same quality as well. They spent 100 million on Elliot Anderson, so they had to buy someone that's going to grow into that role, and I think it'll be a very good signing for them. I do.
I mean, yeah, you do have to sign someone that's going to grow well. That can replace him, I think, as well. And next season they want to kick on from last season being in that relegation battle for a lot of the season, which was a big disappointment considering the season before they gone to Europe. And now they had Elliot Anderson. He's obviously gone to Man City, and so replacing with Bergvall. I wonder if you're a Forest fan, are you underwhelmed by that? Are you disappointed by that? Or do you really believe he can come in and be the guy that can step up in his absence? I wonder how they're feeling, because I think it's a lot to ask of him right now to fill those shoes. It's big shoes to fill.
Of course. Be big shoes for anyone to fill at the end of the day.
Yeah, but he's a 20-year-old who's only had, a limited amount of experience in the Prem.
I think if they can get the performances of a base level performance of the season that we saw of him under Ange, and he only improves on that, then they've got an extremely good player there. Extremely good.
I'm just saying, if you're asking him to come in, play every game, and fill the void, or try and go some way to filling the void of Anderson, I think next season they might be disappointed if that's what they're expecting. If you're expecting a player to come in and play a part in your squad, and maybe in a year or two's time he could be a starter for you where he's at really a great level, then fine. If that's what you're expecting, then then you won't be let down. But I think if you're expecting him to be anywhere near filling the void for Anderson next season, you could be left disappointed. I think.
You probably need to buy a few players
That's
to
what
fill
I'm
the
saying.
void of Anderson. It's not just going to be Bergvall alone, but it'll be Bergvall plus a few others.
I'm saying the report says they see Bergvall as Anderson replaced, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does say that, but it's not like they're still going to need to bring in more players. He's the one coming in after Anderson, but they're going to have to bring in more players. Anderson, some of the work that he did is sometimes 2 or 3 players need to do that role in a team. But it's a different way of playing, different manager, different system. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on there. But I think he'll be a success there, for sure.
He might be, but whether Forest are a success with him in the team starting every week next season, that's the question I'm asking.
Yeah, they weren't a success with Anderson starting every week last season.
That's my point.
Yeah. We'll see. I think they'll have a better season this coming season. They got a better manager in. He's been a success everywhere he's gone. He'll find a good role for him, and they'll get better for sure. No doubt about that. Richarlison. There's been a report on Richarlison, and pardon?
He just coughed.
Gazzetta Italia says that Juventus have opened talks with Tottenham over a move for Richarlison, who's available for around 20 to 25 million euros. Muani remains Juventus' priority, but Richarlison has emerged as an alternative option for Juventus.
Richarlison to Juve. I mean, it's incredible. They've just been burnt by Jonathan David, who they've had high hopes for, and he's been a flop. Openda's come in. They had high hopes for him, and he's been a flop. Vlahovic, has underwhelmed, let's say. He's come in and he's underwhelmed. And now they want Richarlison to be the one to fix their problems? I mean, that'll be baffling to me. I don't believe it. Surely not.
We talk about Richarlison, about, the physicality and everything, and maybe he's not there as a Premier League player anymore, but can he not do it in Serie A? Even in England, he's still got a very good goal-scoring record.
Yeah, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a fine player. He ain't if you're Juve. I know Juve are not maybe the Juve they used to be, but still, surely you got to aim higher than getting someone like Richarlison, who's unwanted goods at Tottenham. Like Jonathan David and Openda were main players for Juve and for Leipzig at the time, top goal scorers in their leagues. They were obviously highly sought after. Right now, Richarlison I've been one of Richarlison's biggest champions in terms of not thinking he's utter dog shit like a lot of people do, and thinking there's actually some quality there. He does score when he does play, but I understand it's time for him to move on. We need to upgrade, and we need a better kind of level of striker. So for Juve to look at that situation, especially with his physical problems, and think, look, maybe if they're signing him to as one of 2 strikers, that maybe can make a bit of sense, but just, I don't know. Surely you're not signing
these players go to Serie A that have washed in the Premier League, Victor Moses, Ashley Young. The list goes on. There's so many of them, and they go and smash it in that league. So I think he can actually do quite well for Juventus.
Yeah, maybe, but he's not Juve quality, surely.
What is Juve quality now, though?
Yeah, but they're still Juve. They're still Juve. They want a certain standard, don't they? Mm-hmm. You would think that's what they demand, and you'd want to get a lot higher level than what Richarlison is currently looking at the moment. So I'll be shocked if Juve are actually going to go for him. As I say, maybe if they're signing another striker on top of him, like someone who's a bit better.
The thing is with Richarlison and this Juventus thing, I think for the Juventus fans, it would be a very underwhelming signing. It would be, after Spurs fans, how much we've been complaining about in the last couple of years. But I actually think it could be one of those underwhelming signings that actually work out well for them. I think he would do well there.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't disagree. He could probably get goals, but I'll just be shocked if a club of Juve's standing. I understand they're also in not in Champions League next season. So maybe they're a bit strapped for cash. Maybe they're looking for decent deals. Maybe they see someone who like Richarlison, who has shown you can score goals even last season, and they think maybe we could do with someone like him. So from that point of view, I can understand it. I guess depends where Juve are at. Maybe they're desperate. Maybe they really can't spend the money that it's going to take to get a high level striker in there. Maybe they're looking at Rishi thinking there is a proven goal scorer there. Let's kind of roll the dice. Let's see if we can get him on the pitch and get him scoring. But yeah, I'll just be shocked if Rishi ends up there. I just didn't see that coming. Yeah, I think he probably could score goals in Serie A, to be fair.
Yeah, I think so. Let's talk about Will Lancashire. This is an interesting report from both Spurs Journal and Himothy, saying that Tottenham youngster Will Lancashire is another young player who may be headed for the exit this summer. Several clubs are interested in the striker, and a permanent sale is likelier than a loan move. And then that was Spurs Journal, and Himothy says that he understands Will Lancashire is up for sale, and it's looking likely that he's going to be sold this summer. So I think, was it Alistair Gold said that we've rejected bids in 8 figures, talking about in the tens of millions here for Lancashire.
So how much are we demanding?
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, how much are you actually going to get for Will Lancashire? I think it'd be a mistake to sell him. I really do. I think we've mentioned before, strikers are so hard to come by. We've got one sitting there that, did well in the Championship last season. I think his physical profile is perfect for the Premier League. I think he's got, really good finishing. I would give him a go next season as part of the squad or another loan move. I really wouldn't sell him.
Yeah, as I've always said with Lancashire, it's really tough to say how is his level until you've seen him firsthand in pre-season, play some games. Obviously, he's done well with the Championship. He's done all right when he's given chances for Tottenham as well. And I think as an academy player, when we've got such high hopes for you, I think all Tottenham fans will want to see him get an opportunity, or I don't think we want to sell him, before he's been given a proper chance to prove himself, especially someone who seems to be on his trajectory, which seems to be an upward trajectory at the moment. When you've got a striker there who has the potential to score goals, it doesn't seem smart to throw him away for a cheap offer. It depends what the offer is, I guess. If they're offering, I don't know, if they're offering nearly 20 million, maybe you've got to consider it, but I can't see anyone doing that. If they're, let's say Ali Gold is saying 8 figures, let's say that's 10 million. So what would our asking price be for 15? 15, would you accept 15 million for him? Maybe that's a smart thing. Maybe he's never going to be a great striker. But in today's market, you're accepting 15 tomorrow. Even if he gets over 5 goals in the Premier League, all of a sudden he's like a 20 million pound player in this market. It's crazy, isn't it? That's how it goes. So I agree. I would like to see a given opportunity. But look, I'm not on the training ground, so I don't really know. Maybe De Zerbi's looking at him and thinking, look, this guy just ain't up to it. He's just not Premier League quality. Maybe that's the truth. And if that is the truth, then his stock is fairly high right now. So maybe, it would be worth getting that 15 million in, because, maybe in a few years' time he's going to be at Dunfermline or something. You never know. But I would like to think that he's shown enough to at least get a small opportunity, or even another loan spell. Because let's say another loan spell at a higher Championship club, or even a lower end Premier League, and he does okay, that his value rises rapidly. So I don't think it makes sense right now while his stock is at this. I know it's quite high, but it could get higher. I guess on the flip side, he could move to another club and maybe flops completely and his value completely drops. But then what you're losing out on maybe 10 million. Which is obviously not great, but the upside of him having a good loan spell is his value could double.
It's like complete pure profit for. I don't know if that even the rule anymore. Pure profit PSR. It's not a thing anymore, is it?
The profit
PSR is not a thing anymore, is it?
Yeah, you're allowed to use. You're allowed to use 85% in the Premier League of your revenue.
That's not a thing anymore. So.
Well, I don't know how that correlates to that element of it. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Yeah, but look, we'll see how it goes. But with Spurs already rejecting a minimum of 10 million, I find it hard that we're going to sell him. Like, who's going to bid more than that? I just don't see anyone doing that.
I wonder what kind of bid would tempt us. Look, then again, let's say we get a bid of 15 million plus a 20% sell-on plus a first refusal to sign back and all that kind of stuff. I guess that could make Tottenham think, maybe it's worth it. And I'm guessing if we were to sell him, that's the kind of structure of the deal we would do. So I would prefer either a loan deal to a better club, higher club last season, or even a Premier League team, or give him a chance. I wouldn't want to sell him permanently, but if you get a good deal's a good deal, and I guess we've got to be better at selling players. I would wait until this pre-season is done though before making any decisions. Get him in front of De Zerbi, get him in the training games with the first team players, and see how he is. He's clearly been working hard on the off-season. He's released some videos of all that kind of stuff with him and Mikey Moore. So let's just, I think, De Zerbi take a look at him. But look, who knows? Maybe he's already had a look at him and made a decision. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Let's talk about some potential incomings. Let's start off with Eli Krupi. Spurs journal saying that Tottenham pursuit of Eli Junior Krupi is not the top attacking priority at Spurs. A deal has remained difficult with no progress on the club-to-club side, and Tottenham are not comfortable with Bournemouth's current evaluation.
So they don't want to go all the way to 100 million.
Yeah, it does make sense though. Like 100 million for Krupi is insane.
It's insane. You could argue 85 for Fernandez is insane. 100 million for Tonali is also probably a bit much.
Yeah, but I think Krupi 100 million is more insane than those two deals.
Yeah, probably after one good season, and he's only 20. I understand
it's not
that.
even like one good season. It's like half a good season.
I mean, it is crazy. It is crazy. But you got Boadi. They're demanding 100 million for him, and apparently City are considering it. The market is nuts at the moment. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I think objectively, if you're like someone who's weighing up what market value is for players, and it's your decision to make those determinations. Obviously, you don't come out at 100 million for Krupi, or you're massively overpaying. But reality is, if you don't get him this summer, you probably won't get him at all. That's the truth. So you got to make that determination with how much you really believe in his quality. Do you believe this could be the guy to be a very, very special player? Or is he just a prospect who had a good season and he's a bit of a risk? Obviously, all signings you have an element of risk, but what you've seen from Krupi in the Premier League, you just get that feeling. I get that feeling this guy is going to go on to big things, in my opinion. So you've got to basically make the decision: do we go big for him now, or basically not go for him at all, or basically risk missing out on him completely, which is the likely scenario down the line. If he grows into that player that he might do, and then Arsenal, PSG, other clubs start circling, and we might be out the race. Because right now, no one's willing to go as high as 100 million. So it's whether we put that money on the down or not.
Yeah, I mean, if that is Spurs' position, I do completely understand it. Yeah. I do.
I would have understood if it was Fernandez as well, but they didn't. You know what I mean? If they turned around and said 85 million is just too much, I would have thought fair enough. It probably is, but they didn't do that. They actually went and put the money down, which is why we're all shocked, right? Because they actually went and put that money down for Fernandez when he probably wasn't worth that amount. So that's why when we were talking about Krupi, they're like 100 million is a bit crazy, but you know what? They've been putting these crazy figures down. Maybe they're just going to do it. Maybe they're just going to put the money down. But objectively, 100 million would be a bit too crazy for Krupi. You shouldn't really do it, but on the flip side, it might be worth it.
Fernandez, for what he's shown in the Premier League in his past 2 seasons, I would say I don't think it's a crazy overpayment for Fernandez. I think you're probably looking at 65 around that kind of figure. So you've overpaid by like 20 million. Krupi, I think from what he's shown, obviously he's an unbelievable talent.
He's an attacker as well. He's
an attacker as well. True. After half a season, you'd probably say about probably the same value as Fernandez, right? 60 million.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is more than double the overpayment on a Krupi than it would be for a Fernandez. The same with like Tonali. He's probably like an 80 million pound midfielder.
So I'd say 70, yeah. And we've overpaid by about, yeah.
So these were overpaying for like 20 million-ish. Like this would be like a 40 million overpayment. That is just mad.
It's a lot. And as I say, it wouldn't shock me. I wouldn't be like, oh, they're crazy for saying no. But also wouldn't be like they're crazy for saying yes. I think we can afford to do it. There's no point having this financial muscle if you can't flex it. That's kind of my theory. So if they're steadfast on it, as we've said as well, if you're looking for Prem-proven attackers, I mean, especially strikers or central forward players like Krupi is, they are very few and far between right now. you can't really. There's not too many who you would want to sign. So someone like Krupi, his stock is extremely high because there's not too many central attackers right now.
Look, don't get me wrong, I would do it. I would do it, but I could just understand the club stance on it.
Yeah, completely. I think most clubs. Why do you think most clubs are obviously going to walk away when it's 100 million? Because it's a crazy thing to do. It's a crazy thing to demand. But we're in a position where we have the money, and we kind of need to overpay to convince players to come to us and convince clubs to sell to us because of the situation we're in. Because we can't convince them from a sporting project we can't really convince them from a sporting project compared to these other clubs. So what we got in our favour is money, essentially. So yeah, if we don't get him, as I understand, we don't want to go to 100 million. But then who are we going to get up front?
Yeah.
Who are we going to get? But then again, to be fair, Krupi does have that other element to it, which we've spoken about before. He's not really a striker, so you're signing him, but where does he actually fit in? Are you playing him up front? Are you playing him in the 10? Those are obviously big questions. So are you signing a player for 100 million where you're not 100% sure what his role in the squad is? That's obviously what you got to determine. But if De Zerbi looks at him and says, no, he's going to play up front, or he's definitely, he knows his position, we're not signing him just because he's a good player, we're signing him because he's a player that we need, then, yeah, go spend the money.
Let's talk about Savinho. Interesting development on Savinho. Looks like he could be the next one in. Fabrizio Romano says that Tottenham are ready to go back in for Savinho and are preparing to reopen negotiations with Manchester City. Both De Zerbi and people at Spurs want him. Savinho is quite open to the move regardless of no European football. SZY says that Tottenham are now accelerating a move for Savinho. He is the chosen target. And Himothy saying Savinho is looking likely to be the next player through the door at Tottenham Hotspur. And I think we could have all maybe have predicted this stuff coming out today, because last night someone responded to Javi's TikTok saying, is this happening, with a picture of Savinho and Javi mocked up in a Spurs shirt, and he just sent the eyes emoji. So look, I think this deal has been obviously in the pipeline for ages. Savinho has been literally non-stop hounding Spurs players on social media. We saw the post from Javi a while ago with him and Savinho. Now this. I mean, this deal is going to happen.
Yeah,
sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it seems as though this one's... Well, I mean, we've said it so many times, haven't we? But this deal has been in the offing for such a long time. I mean, we even talked about last year. Apparently, Romano's just retweeted...
his original
post. So there you go. So when it comes to this deal, I guess there's two things. It's like, yes, it looks like he's always heading in the right direction. It looks like Savinho wants to come. It looks like we're desperate for him, but it's been rumbling on for so long. So have Man City now made a decision? Are they happy now to take the money? Has that become clear? Are Tottenham willing to maybe push that extra bit to get this over the line? I don't know what's changed, but it seems as though things are moving. Let's see. I think, as I've said, I really want him. I think he's a top talent. I think he can offer things now, not just in the future. I think he can really help creatively on the wings. I think him and Kudus could be such a good wing partnership in certain games. So I really rate him, and I really rate his talent. I think it's a really good opportunity. But it's going to be interesting to see when it breaks, like any deal agreed or anything. How much is it going to cost? We'll see. We'll see where it leads, because why is it taking so long? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter though, does it, why it's taking so long, as long as the deal gets done. But I don't know what the hold up has been for so long. We've heard City's side, we've heard Tottenham are now weighing up their options. We don't really know exactly what the truth is, but I think he's a good player, and I'm really excited to see him in the Spurs shirt if it happens.
When he does sign, because he will sign, and when he does sign and he gets announced, surely Javi's going to be doing the announcement video.
Definitely.
No other person to do it, is there?
Definitely.
Javi's been championing this signing more than anyone.
Yeah, Agent Javi has been hot on the case for Savinho. So, I think it will happen. I think it sounds like it will be done. But I don't know if it's imminent or it's going to take another few weeks. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Himothy says he's going to be the next one through the door, and he also says he won't be the last signing through the door either.
Yeah, but it's interesting they're saying Krupi is not our priority signing. So it seems like Savino at the moment is.
Yeah.
But then who is it after that? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I know. You know, Tonali, Fernandez just came out of nowhere, didn't it? When the first links came out. So I'm feeling like it's going to happen again in the forward line. We're just going to start seeing some new names in there. I don't know who it could be, but it's going to be exciting. And last but not least, Nico Williams. John Percy is saying that Nico Williams is understood to be about to sign a new long-term contract at Nottingham Forest. So that's going to put that one dead. Obviously, he was linked to us last week. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Are they going to still consider selling Spence? Are they going to go for someone else? Like, what is the situation now? I know everyone is now saying, like, you've got to keep Spence. You've got to keep Spence. And with the performances at the World Cup, it's hard to disagree with that. I've always said, you know, I would keep Spence around. But if De Zerbi doesn't feel like he's the right profile of fullback for him, then, yeah, fair enough, go get the right profile. But I think Spence and Porro on the right-hand side is a really good dynamic.
But it's interesting to see if he signs it. Maybe they're offering Nico Williams a new contract to try and ward off interest from Tottenham. And maybe he doesn't do it. Maybe
he says he's set to sign it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if he does. And if he does, then, yeah, we have to move on. He ain't going to come this summer. So that makes replacing Spence even harder if we lined up Nico Williams. For me, I'm obviously very happy to keep Spence. I've said it before. I'd probably... I've got no issue with keeping Spence with what he offers. But as you say, yeah, there seems to be something behind the scenes with him and De Zerbi. I don't know what it is, a clash of personality. Is it just Spence isn't the right player for him? Who knows what really is going on behind closed doors? But it seems as though De Zerbi would rather a different fullback as an option than Spence. But maybe, you know what? Spence has proven his whole career for the past 4 years has just been proving people wrong time and time again. Maybe it's time for him to prove De Zerbi wrong. Yeah. And that's very possible. That's very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Spence says, you know what, I'm staying, and I'm going to prove you wrong. I hope that's the case. And as you've said, this World Cup is really, a lot of my friends who are like, beginning of the World Cup, like, why is Spence here? This is ridiculous. What a joke, a call up. And now they're like, how have you made him look so bad at Tottenham? Like, what is going on at that football club? Him and Porro, like, I think it's an achievement how bad Spurs have made them look because they're top quality players. So if Nico doesn't come, that's fine. But I just think, I feel like replacing Spence for me is too much hassle than it's worth. That's my feeling. Even if we can get a good fee for him, like, we're still going to have to replace him with a fullback as good as him, and that's going to have to cost a similar amount. So for me, I'd rather just keep Spence. It's a headache we don't need. But if we're desperate to sell him and we're not going to get Nico, it just makes it a bit harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, some of the narratives I've seen forming around Spence before he had these good performances, which is like, I saw Boovy was saying he's a championship level player.
Yeah, these people just never watching. They don't know what they're talking about.
It's just ridiculous, some of the things I've seen said about Spence. So, look, that is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today. We got a couple of super chats to get into. This one says, manager named Thomas, always giving me nightmares. Never hire a manager called Thomas.
No, always ends badly.
Southeast Koi says, convos need to be had about England's squad regressing to 2018. Like Belgium, England's golden era is slowly dying out. Wasted talent by Southgate.
I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I think that's basically just saying Harry Kane is aging. I mean, who else? You've got top quality players all over. A lot, like Rice isn't that old. You've got Saka, you've got Anderson, who's young. You've got Bellingham, who's young. You've got Morgan Rogers. I mean, Eze's now in the squad. He's not old. Like, you're basically talking about Harry Kane and Pickford, maybe. I understand some players have left, Trippier, Maguire. But are you really saying Maguire and Trippier are part of our golden era? Those are your golden players?
Well, I don't think the golden era that actually... the actual golden era was when we had Gerrard, Lampard, Becks, Ashley Cole, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand. That was the golden era that got wasted.
Yeah.
And if you compare this, I mean, we spoke about this a bit yesterday. If you compare that squad to the squad now, I mean, that squad was a lot better player for player. in my opinion.
Yeah. I think there was world-class players, probably some of the best players in their position all over the team. Obviously, this team now is more of a team. That's why they've been more successful, because we've been more of a team. And the one before really struggled to just get all those players together as a team instead of all thinking of themselves. And that was, I think some of the players have admitted it themselves. That was a big problem. But I'm just saying, yeah, I don't buy that Southgate wasted a golden era. I think all the players right now are still at a good age. Like, apart from Kane, who's obviously getting on a bit, who else are you talking about?
Yeah, there's no one.
No one.
So he's wasted Kane.
But Kane could still win something. But yeah, I mean, if Kane ends his
chances
career,
are running out, mate.
it's true. But I know, but I still, as I've said, I still think he's going to, like, look at Messi at 39. I think Kane could do similar. I really do.
Yeah, I think Kane's got one more World Cup left in him, max. I don't think he'll have 2 World Cups left in him.
As I say, I think he could go into his
Some
late
are saying
30s.
this is his last World Cup.
No, I don't think so. Kane takes care of himself. He never relied on his pace. He's a very smart player. I think he can go into his very late 30s and still be playing
how old
good
is he
level.
now? 32?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 36. He'll be 40 at the World Cup after that. I mean, can't see him being there.
Why not? Messi's 39.
I know Messi's 39.
Ronaldo's 41.
I know. I just can't see it with Kane.
We'll see.
But
he'll be the next one, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Powery says, well, at the end of the day, it's about having fun and getting some exercise. Who was that a quote? He's put it in quotation marks. Who was that a quote from?
I don't know. Was it England manager, maybe?
Who was that a quote from? Anyone letting me know in the live chat?
Mike Bassett, maybe?
Anyone saying anyone?
No. No one's confirming in the chat.
Who the hell said that?
I don't know.
Anyway, thanks for the super chat, though. Joe LCS says, England played like Arsenal in that second half. Yeah, it was like a combination of...
It's true.
It was actually more like Thomas Frank's Tottenham against Arsenal. That's what we played like.
Maybe it was Rice. It was... Rice was getting the... Arsenal, this is what we do if we want
like, what difference was it from that performance, that Spurs performance at the Emirates last year to that last 20 minutes?
Nothing.
It was exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Just sitting back and... The thing is, if you sit back like that and you're getting 4 defenders in the box, at least defend well.
Yeah.
They were... every cross, Argentina were winning the first contact. Every header was Argentina's. Like, you've got Byrne and Guehi and Konsa all in there. How is no one heading it out? It's ridiculous.
Another super chat here from Ardy the Quirky Puffin. Do you think they've considered Osimhen internally? Given our current situation, I prefer him over Krupi right now. Established over prospects right now, and
I reckon they are looking at him.
They have to. He is the best player.
I think
available.
I think all these Premier League clubs look at everyone. To be honest, I think everyone, and then they make considerations about whether they're good enough or whatever. But I think when it comes to Osimhen, obviously he's the one true world-class striker not playing in a top 5 league. That's attainable if you pay the right money, but that money is a hell of a lot of money. I mean, it's not even the transfer fee; it's obviously the wages, probably any bonuses. I mean, the fact of the matter is, this guy priced himself out of a move to Chelsea and PSG and ended up at Galatasaray. And if you're pricing yourself out of moves to those kind of clubs, I shudder to think what his demands were from those clubs. So, like, we're going to have to be probably prepared to pay. And also it says a lot about a player's mentality where he would rather, take up more money and go to Galatasaray than who, never going to do anything in Europe or anything like that, then go to Chelsea or PSG, where you're going to have a shitload of money, but it just won't be as much as maybe it was there. And I think that worries me a bit as well. Having someone with that kind of attitude, mentality, is he a good influence in the dressing room? That's another question. If he's thinking like that, he's letting his agent dictate, what he wants as to that extent. This guy should not be. How long has he been at Galatasaray for now? 3 years. This guy was a star in this area, top goal scorer. He dragged them to, him and Kavisha dragged them to a league title. Like, this guy should be up front for one of the biggest clubs in the world right now. And in fact, and for me, he's wasted 3 years of his career, like, totally. So I don't know if I want to go with that kind of mentality. Is he fully, obsessed with, being at a club that's going to be challenging and putting everything, or is he just caring about how much money he can make? That's what you got to ask yourself. But in terms of just pure player quality, I would love Osimhen. I think he's unbelievable. And if De Zerbi thinks, bring this guy in, and I can get him straight.
The thing is, right, with Osimhen and with his, you talking about mentality, I think that he's always shown a top mentality whilst being on the football pitch.
Mm-hmm.
He has, because I think even at Galatasaray, he's given his all there. He's smashing out in the Champions League and in whatever, in the Europa League and in the league, in the Turkish league, and in Italy. He did the exact same thing. So I would still bring him in. Every player cares about money, obviously some more than others, but this is a career for them at the end of the day, and he's secured his family, his kids' family, and his kids' family.
And he
for the rest of their lives.
But he wouldn't have done that at PSG or Chelsea.
Yeah, he would have done that at PSG or Chelsea too. But maybe just this one to a more extent. He's getting everything tax-free as well. You can't remember that.
Yeah, it's true. Look, I understand it. I'm just, you just got a question. There has to be a question mark there. There has to be. You can't ignore that.
Yeah. If he's willing to come, I'm more than happy to take him.
I think from Spurs' point of view, they probably look at the situation and think, it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money. He's not going to take a penny less, apparently. Is it more too? Is the risk too much? Is the price too much for him? That's probably how
is that still what the rumours are? He won't take a penny less, or was that when he went to Turkey?
Well, he's there now. Yeah. He hasn't moved.
Yeah.
So he might. If he would have taken him, he probably would have moved by now, wouldn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, but surely at some point he's got to think to himself, I need to get back to a top league. Surely.
That's my thing. If he doesn't, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'd like to think that's how he's thinking, but I've got no idea. Maybe he's happy, playing in Turkey, earning all that money, not having the pressure, scoring bucket loads of goals in the Turkish league.
All right, let's move on. Alistair Gold has done a really interesting article regarding the squad rules for this season and also the European rules for next season. We've been speaking about it a lot with the likes of Lucas Bergvall, Archie Gray. If we do go and sell a Lucas Bergvall and a Will Lancashire, who's Ruben now, how's that going to affect us for next season if we are back in Europe? But also, we're going to look at the squad rules for this year in the Premier League and how the squad stacks up right now. So in the article, it says this season will bring less problems Spurs face in previous years with being unable to register players in continental competition, simply because obviously they have not qualified for Europe, but also because the Premier League rules are more relaxed. That's mainly because the club's under 21 players do not need to be included in the 25-man list. You are eligible to play in the Premier League. To be considered as an under 21 player for this coming Premier League season, players must be born on or after January the 1st, 2005. That means a number of players such as Souza, Mason Meslier, Mikey Moore and Will Lancashire, as well as Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Wilson Odobert and Matty Tell can all go on the under 21 list. For once, though, all of Spurs' summer signings are far too old to get on that list, and that makes a spot on the non-homegrown list as well. We have also included returning players from loans for now, despite them linked to moves away. Currently, that means that Spurs have 20 non-homegrown players. So if we can bring up the graphic. Yeah. So we've got 20 non-homegrown players. Only 17 are allowed. The likes of Manuel Solomon, Kota Takai will move on. Vicario and Romero, obviously, probably going to move on as well. However, Spurs must be wary about that number if they're looking to bring in further foreign players, such as SAVINHO. Javi Simmons could potentially be left out the initial squad and be brought back, in which he arrives from his ACL probably around January time, and unlikely to play competitive football for the remainder of the year. What I found interesting, he says that Andy Robertson is actually not homegrown.
He's not homegrown.
He's not homegrown because he joined Hull when he was like 20, so his training was done elsewhere.
Scotland.
Yes, Kevin Danso obviously is homegrown. Who else? There was another interesting one there. Maybe it was just those two. But anyway, I'll just carry on reading it. It says the Premier League's rules state that a homegrown player is a player who, irrespective of nationality or age, has been registered with any club affiliated to the Football Association or the Football Association of Wales for a period, continuous or not, of 3 entire seasons or 36 months before his 21st birthday. That creates a strange situation where Kevin Danso qualifies as a homegrown player in Premier League terms because he was on the youth academies at Reading and MK Dons for years before leaving England at the age of 16 and later returning for a season at Southampton. However, Robertson does not, because he was first registered with the English FA at 20 when he joined Hull. Spurs currently have 8 homegrown players if the returning Dane Scarlett is included, and now he's too old for the under-21 list. Scarlett is likely to head off, but if Tottenham did go over the 8 homegrown spots, a new signing, then they would have to choose between, for the instance of one of the homegrown players, for one of the non-homegrown players to be sacrificed. So that looks like Dane probably does have to leave.
Well, it's 8 minimum though. So right now he's saying if.
No, but you need a squad. You have a squad of 25.
Yeah, but you need. But
so he would actually take up a spot in the squad, Dane Scarlett.
No, I understand that. But if you were to, let's say, sell Dane Scarlett, does the squad not go down to 24?
Yeah, it would do.
So you're not making a decision between one or the other. Only if you have 8 and then another one on top of that.
Correct. Yeah, but we're struggling for numbers. What I'm saying. So Dane Scarlett would probably be a full guy.
Well, he's going to be sold anyway. But yeah.
So anyway, this is what the list looks like right now for the squad. So we're currently over the non-homegrown players.
Yeah, but so we're 3 over right now. So all the ones at the bottom and the under-21s, they don't need to be touched. Albeit Bergvall's probably going to leave. Sousa probably on loan. Scarlett's probably going to leave. Scarlett's in the wrong order. We'll see what happens with Lancashire and Moore. But so when it comes to those players in the non-homegrown, we need to sell 3 just to break even with the squad numbers.
Yeah.
And then after that, any more we sell, we can then 1 in, 1 out. So right now, we're probably going to sell Vicario. We're probably going to sell Romero. We're probably going to sell Kota Takai or loan him out at least. That's 3 already. Richarlison, that's 4. Sarr, that's 5. And Solomon. So you're probably looking at 6 players.
Yeah.
So we should be okay, shouldn't we? And that means we can make another room for 3 more signings.
Correct.
If we get all those 6 off the books.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not really an issue going into next season. It's actually the season after where the issues start to come, to be honest, because talking of that, he says he has a headline saying a messy European future. He says it should be stressed that Tottenham do not have to worry this season about the pitfalls of Europe selection, blah, blah, blah. However, they do want to get back in European competition as soon as possible, obviously, so cannot allow themselves to continue in a vein that has countless players. You can take off this graphic now, and has left the squad in recent years. They don't want to leave themselves with a clearance sale required next summer if they get back into Europe and at the end of this campaign. The main differences between the Europe and the domestic squads are that they go into UEFA's under-21s list. You need to have been at the club for 2 seasons, and also that the homegrown section falls into 2 very different and awkward for Tottenham categories. First of all, the UEFA rules say that no club can have more than 25 players on their A-list during the season, of whom 2 must be goalkeepers. The rules then state that as a minimum, 8 of those 25 places are reserved for exclusively locally trained players, and no club may have more than 4 association trained players listed among those 8 places. If a club have fewer than 8 locally trained players in their squad, then the maximum number of the players on the list A is reduced accordingly. There are 2 different types of locally trained player. One is club trained player, those who have been on the club's books for 3 entire seasons or 36 months between the ages of 15 and 21. The other is association trained player, those who are on the club's books in the same association for 3 entire seasons or 36 months between the ages of 15 and 21. So while Danso is homegrown in the Premier League, he does not fit into association trained category in Europe because he left the age to England at the age of 16. Now for the problematic registration for new young players. In Europe, there is a B list for players who are born on or after January the 1st, 2006. This is for next year. But they must be eligible to play for the club for any uninterrupted period for 2 years since their 15th birthday, for a total of 3 consecutive years, for a maximum of 1 loan period to a club for the same association for a period not longer than 1 year. Players aged 16 must be submitted if they have been registered with the club or previous 2 years without interruption. In recent seasons, Spurs have only had 1 club-trained senior player, which has been Brandon Austin, as they need to register 4 club-trained categories. Tottenham have been required to leave 3 spots open, meaning that the 25-man squad goes into a 22-man squad. However, if they remain in N17, Lucas Bergvall and Archie Gray both become club-trained next season. Technically, could have been included in the B squad for this season and next, along with Souza, if he's not loaned out, which seems likely, and Mikey Moore and Will Lancashire will all be club trained for next season. Well, Souza will be on the B list.
B list.
Yeah,
they'll be on the B list, but Bergvall and Gray will be club trained.
Yeah. In essence, 27-28, Spurs would have a 34-man squad from the current bunch, and this is what it looks like if you bring up the graphic. So, I mean, it is worrying when you're looking at the club trained, isn't it? Because we've got heavy links now, or links for Lancashire to go, Bergvall heavy links to go, which will leave us with 3 spots for the club trained players.
Well, Mikey Moore wouldn't be on the club trained, he'd be on the B list, I think. Well, how old would he be? Maybe
Mikey Moore next season will be
20.
He's 18
20?
now, isn't he?
He'll also be 19.
He'll be 19 going into next season.
I guess maybe you can include him on the B list. It doesn't really matter though. Either way, he can be included, whether you put him on. So we would. I mean, there's a lot of players there, isn't there? So if let's say we sell Bergvall, so that takes our squad size to 24 with Brandon Gray, and let's say you put Mikey Moore in there or Lancashire, one of the two. So it takes our squad to 24.
Well, it doesn't actually, because we've still got 4 club trained players there. There's 5 on that list.
Okay. So that's assuming you want to keep Mikey Moore.
Yeah, if those 4 players stay for next season, then the Bergvall sale doesn't make too much of a difference on that aspect. It's if more go. That's where the problems lie.
The thing is, Mikey Moore and Lancashire could both go on the B list. Or actually, Lancashire can't, wouldn't he, next season? Though.
Lancashire's already 21 now.
Yeah, Lancashire can't. So let's say put Moore on the B list. You have Lancashire, Gray, and Lancashire, Gray, Austin.
Then it goes down by 1, yeah.
Doesn't make a difference because the only person you can put in there is Moore, who could be selected anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. So you can keep Moore in there, you keep a squad of 25, and then how many players we got on top of that? We got 24 players on top of the 25.
There's 24 players in the
European on top of the 4, sorry.
There's 24 players in the non-European players, non-locally trained players. There's a maximum of 17.
So basically what you're saying is 7 players from the top list will have to go and 4 players from the middle list will have to go.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's 11 players off those lists you'd have to go before next season. That's not even including new signings we make this season. So if you're looking at, but no more than 4 players can go from the middle list. So you're probably looking at Vicario. You're looking at, let's say, Romero, that's 2. You're looking at Kota, 3. You're looking at Richarlison, 4. Sarr, 5. Solomon, 6. Yaman Hook, 7. Dane Scarlett, 8. Ashley Phillips, 9. Maybe Ben Davis last season, that's 10. So then you need one more, maybe like a Danso leaves,
Ashley
or
Phillips.
I said Phillips.
Oh.
So we've got 10 there. That's gone. Does maybe a Madison or a Gallagher leave? Who knows? Maybe Bentancur, one of these players. Maybe an Odebear or a Tell, one of those two might leave before next season. So
And that's without new signings.
that's
though.
11 players, and if you add 3, then 3 more need to go.
Yeah.
But those decisions only need to be made next season. Don't need to be made
You
now.
need to prprepare from now.
I
Surely.
mean, no, you start planning for it, but you don't make it ready. I think you make the squad right for this season. The next season, you make those determinations on who. You don't just sell everyone. You don't even know if you're going to be in Europe yet. So
The thing is, right, if Bergvall goes and Will Lancashire both go this summer, then that leaves you with just Mikey, Gray, and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's an issue for me. Is that not a big issue?
What do you mean? What's the issue?
Because then you're going to have only 3 club-trained players going into next season.
Yeah.
And what if he deems Mikey Moore, not good enough to be part of the squad next season? That's also a serious possibility. What if Archie Gray starts getting itchy feet with not playing too much? All these players, their future is not exactly set in stone. All
Correct.
of them.
Yeah. Well, what can we do about it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
That's just the hands we're dealt. I think we should make a concerted effort to try and get these players to work, because they're quite valuable if they can be club trained. But if they're not good enough, what can we do? I don't know. It's a tough situation. There's nothing. It's not like there's a lot of options for us. There's very limited options.
Harry Kane would solve a lot of problems right now.
Yeah, get Harry Kane in.
Season.
Get Harry Kane in from the Champions League. He can be on the club trained. We've looked at the club trained thing, haven't we? There's not a lot of talent there for Tottenham to play with, to sign club trained players. Marcus Edwards.
We've missed the Winks boat. He's just gone to someone else. I think he's gone back to Serie A.
Calgary, I think.
Yeah.
Ollie Skip.
Yeah.
Looking at Marcus Edwards.
Yeah, it's just not great, is it? The squad planning at this club, for the European stuff, has been atrocious. And last season just proved it.
Mm-hmm.
And next season is going to prove it again.
Well, Williams Barnett, people are saying.
Williams Barnett will be a B-lister.
Mm.
He'll be too young, but if he can make an impact, if he can play.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, if they're on the B list, then that's fine.
Yeah, but if he can play, then, or if he's good enough to play for us in Europe next season, then it's less of an issue because it's a player that can play.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, he's not on that list.
Yeah. Yeah, what can we do about it? We need to. This is why you need to start. I mean, to be fair, we have done it with Gray and Bergvall. We invested in them, but it looks like we're going to sell Bergvall, which is, that's part of the issue, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how you solve it. You either tell Gray and Bergvall and one of Moore or Lancashire, look, you're staying. That's it.
I think you probably have to. Well, you don't have to because they're not doing it. But I would do my best to keep both Gray and Bergvall. Maybe sell a Bentancur and streamline Bergvall instead of. I know Bentancur's the better player right now, but I think in terms of the squad building aspect and the player that Bergvall can be, maybe that's the best course of action.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. And I've said, I would take. I think Bergvall, he's got obviously a bigger future. He's going to be more the future of Spurs. And Bentancur, you can maybe get one good season out of him, and he's probably going to be out of the door anyway. So I wouldn't keep Bentancur, but sell Bergvall just for 1 or 2 good seasons of Bentancur when we can keep Bergvall. But Bergvall wants to leave. I think a lot of it is on him, to be honest, right now. I think we want to keep Bergvall, but I don't think we want to sell him. I think he wants to leave, and it's like, what do we do about that? Do we keep an unhappy player, or do we let him go for good money?
Yeah.
So I would want to keep him as well, but it seems as though he's got his heart set on playing somewhere else. So it's a tough situation.
But I don't think the plan is to sell Bentancur. I mean, if the plan was to sell Bentancur and Sarr, maybe Bergvall will be more open to staying.
No, the plan's not to sell Bentancur.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what the plan should be for many different aspects.
Mm. Yeah. I'd be open to selling Bentancur as much as I rate him. Although he did make a big difference last season when he came back in.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's the future. You know, if we were being ruthless, maybe he should be on the chopping block as well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, these are next year's problems.
Yeah.
For this season coming, we should be absolutely fine. But next year, all these conversations are going to start propping up again, and we're going to have to, be careful.
Yeah, but you don't know where you're going to be next season.
Of course.
Like in terms of not just in terms of where the club's going to be in the table. I mean, what we're going to think about certain players. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Van Hecker's a complete flop and we want rid of him. You never know. Like all these things, you work out next season. Obviously, if all these players we've got and the new signings are all amazing and we're challenging near the top and we don't want to lose any of them, then obviously we've got tough decisions to make. But usually, season to season, players' stocks and all those kind of things they go up and down, don't they? So we'll see where we're at in a year's time when it comes to it.
Absolutely. But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting article, and that's the state of the squad rules and the squad planning and the building over this season for the Premier League and next season for hopefully being back in Europe.
I think all this stuff is a bunch of nonsense anyway, in terms of why do UEFA enforce rules when we've already got our own club rules? Yeah. We already got our own thing going on. Same with financial stuff. Why is there two sets of rules? The whole thing is a bunch of nonsense.
It is nonsense, 100%.
Also, with football becoming more, it's becoming more and more intense. There's more and more games. These stringent rules on squads are becoming more and more untenable because there's more and more injuries. People are going to need more and more of their squads. I think this really needs looking at and adjusting.
But I guess that the rules were brought in to help academies or to so you use players from your academies and you train players up and stuff like that.
I don't have a problem with those rules. It's the squad size rules I've got a problem with.
Yeah,
and they're limiting it.
There shouldn't be a squad size.
You need to unlimit it because right now it's untenable. These rules are outdated. They're completely outdated. I don't have a problem with saying X amount of your squad needs to be players from your academy and all that. I've got no problem with that. But limiting your squad the way they're limiting it right now.
Or at least make it 30.
Yeah, you
add it by 5.
Yeah. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's completely outdated, and I think a lot of clubs are having a lot of trouble with it. I think out in the European squad last season, pretty much every team had to leave someone out, didn't they?
Yeah, I know us and Chelsea did. I'm not sure.
Forest did.
Forest did as well.
Forest had to. I can't remember who else was in.
I don't think Man City did. I don't think Arsenal did.
Arsenal did.
Who did Arsenal?
They lost out.
Jesus.
Yeah, Arsenal did. A lot of clubs did. The whole thing needs re-looking at.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, let us know your thoughts on that in the comment section below. We've got a members chat. Member for 52 months, Bobby K in the live chat. Big up to you, Bobby.
K.
Where's he been?
Bobby K.
Where you been, Bobby? He says
He's
big
too
up,
busy
boys.
singing his song to himself.
He says big up, boys, and everyone in the live chat. Big up to you, Bobby.
Come on, Bobby. All right, should I connect my phone?
Yeah, connect your phone. Turn northern there for a split second.
Connect my phone.
Is it connecting? Well, right now, we are going to take another sneak peek at some more training footage that has been put out there by Spurs. Actual football on the pitch at Hotspur Way.
It's not. Doesn't seem to be working.
Did this last time. Once you disconnect and reconnect, for some reason it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
Check now. Is it your laptop?
No, it's my phone. All right. Yeah, it seems to be connected.
All right, cool.
Wait, but then how we...
Can you see it? There we go.
You can't what?
Bobby K says, "Missed you lads. The whole working for a living is ruining my streaming time."
Yeah,
Forget that work.
YouTuber,
Forget that work, Bobby. Tuning into the streams are a lot more important than work and providing for your family.
You living for the streaming.
About 50%.
50.
All right. We've got it locked and loaded. We are going to be looking at some more training footage from Spurs. They just released this, I think, last night. And, yeah, let's go and see what we think. So what we got.
Yeah.
Some nice quick edits.
Do some double time. It's a goalkeepers union. Where's the football? Ah, Wilson. Come on. Oh, who'd you say hi to there?
Who does who say hi to?
Tonali. He said hi to someone. I want to see them building some camaraderie.
Decky!
Oh, that's great to see.
Look at that. Decky in the gym with the team. Love that.
Oh, it's Xavi. Xavi's coming in. Oh, that's lovely to see. He's been all over social media ever since his injury.
He's got
Poor guy.
a bit of spare time on his hands.
Oh, he's putting the gloves on.
There you go. The boots going on.
There's
Mikey
Lancashire.
Moore.
Oh, is that George
Lancashire.
Abbott?
Yeah, George Abbott's back. Yeah.
George Abbott's back. Yes,
Yeah,
he looks like he means business.
Yeah, look at that. The boss is back in the building.
Ah, the Italians together. Tonali and Udogi. That's Georgeson, isn't it?
Yeah. There were rumours of him leaving or going back to Man United, weren't there? That hasn't seemed to happen. Budding friendship of Conor Gallagher and Kota Takai.
Dundee and Mikey Moore together. Yeah, I think if we go back, they talking about golf, I think. Where is it? You can see Mikey Moore's like practicing his swing. Yeah. De Zerbi, he's getting ready.
At work, mate.
He's getting ready.
At work.
He's getting ready for our midfield.
De Zerbi's going to be our new 10.
I love that. When have you ever seen a manager get involved with the gym work? That's brilliant.
Can you hear what they're saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I need to turn it up. Yeah, it's being Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Fernandez and Solanke getting on. Look at this. Team spirit, camaraderie. That's what we love to see. Is that Williams Barnett?
Yeah, is that Williams Barnett and the doggy? Yeah.
They all seem to do a great time.
Mateus means business, man. Look at that look.
Yeah, it is Roberto.
Okay, lads, we're just going to work forwards and then backwards.
I want to get that top, man. That's so
Twice
nice.
through on both. 5-6 forwards, 5-6 back. 6 or 7 one way, 6 or 7 the other. Twice through. Make sure we're nice and low. Resistance when they come back out. 6 or 7 each side.
Tonali and Gallagher.
Yeah. Wonder what kind of partnership they would make.
Roberto De Zerbi.
Seems like he's getting a bit impatient. He's like, come on, let's play some football. What's going on, all this stuff? Come on. Looks like he just waved their hand on him. It's like, how long they're going to be? Come on. I need them to start with this build-up pattern I've got.
There's Yang Min Hyuk.
Nice.
Cyril McCoy saying Tonali in a Betano t-shirt.
Yeah, that is a bit not great, I think, given his history. He's deserving. Look at that
smile.
Let's see. That, and you see his pivot just walking past there.
Tonali goes past. Look at that smile De Zerbi has on his face, man.
How do I go?
Brilliant.
There you go. That's the smile of someone who's just got a brand new double pivot if I've ever seen one. Look at that. Straight into Tonali. He's looking in his eyes. Who's that next to him? Don't know who that is.
Is that not Lancashire? Is it Lancashire?
No, it's not Lancashire. I don't know who that is. That guy, for De Zerbi, couldn't be happier, could he? He's got a new midfield to play with.
Brilliant. De Zerbi is just all of us right now.
When he looks down, he's like smiling to himself. He's just like thinking about all the things he's going to do that we can do now. I love it.
Good, like it, Mano. Yes, Mikey, good. Okay, what I want you to do is start really gentle. By the time you reach this black mannequin, you turn it on, and acceleration through left one. Really good. Here.
You've got to be tracking there, running or something.
Good, as you work out that.
The hats come off.
Just work
Yeah.
what feels right. Stay down at the orange now. Last ones. This one's drop step, so you start the orange. Two left.
Is it still just fitness? Or they got...
Here we go. Beautiful, Mikey. Oh, lovely. I think we're winning the league. I haven't seen them miss once. Fish. Who's that? Is that Byfield? Byfield with Scarlett there.
Destiny.
It's Fernandez. Oh, look at that little bit of a pirouette there from Mateus. His turn there. Oh, lovely. That's why we pay him the big bucks. Look at that turn.
Mateus Fernandez, behave.
Premier League midfields aren't ready. They're just not ready for what is about to be unleashed on them.
Can't wait.
Here's Dubravka. Anyone interested to see our sub keeper make some saves?
Simple. One in goal, one rest in goal. One on this one.
Oh, and Antonin.
Honestly, I think they're making Anthony look better than Vicario. I think they did this. I think this is sly editing.
He is better than Vicario.
Doing it for a reason. There you go. See, he's like taking it cleaner. When it comes to Vic, he's like fumbling it a bit. He's not as clean.
They're going to post Vicario just making the biggest clanger. Look
I love that Godfather face.
Look at that concentration on that face.
Say, follow a doggy, follow a doggy.
The level we're looking for.
Come on, give us some Madders ball.
Look at these guys. What regimented drills he's got to be doing. When are we going to see some 7-a-side or something?
The boys getting hard at work. It's only going to get harder, boys.
Bleep test. You're going to make him puke like Conte did.
Do you remember that in Korea?
Yeah, oh my God, that was...
Jeez. In that heat as well, the
That
humidity.
was brutal. Apparently he's just brought in a new guy, to Zerbi.
Yeah, I read that.
A new
From
sports
Brighton.
science, a new sports science guy who he's worked with before.
Yeah, from Brighton, right?
Yeah.
Use your arms. Yes, yes, yes. Good.
Nice, Matisse. Big season for you. I believe in you, Matisse. This machine.
Came to work. These guys came to work. No more dossing around. Oh, Mikey.
Growing his hair out a bit, isn't he?
What is that on the back of their shirt? Why didn't it say THFC properly? Like the other one.
Oh, he's a little grey, a little bit ahead.
Telling you, Gray looks a bit more built up, man.
Do you reckon he's done the Bale regimen?
He very well could be on that trajectory.
Remember Bale just one summer just came
Yeah,
in, he was
just
like
like- just-
beast.
I
Like,
know.
what?
That's from some scrawny kid into a beast in like a few months.
Outdoor gym.
God, these players live good, don't they? Look at that, Odebear.
Yeah, Odebear looking all right. He's training with the rest of them, aren't they, isn't he? Well, not. I don't know about football, but well, he's going to be ahead of Xavi, isn't he?
By quite some distance,
Yeah.
by like 2-3 months.
Ah, that's it. Nice to see flashes of Decky, flashes of Odebear, Xavi coming in, so all the injured players are all making an appearance. Didn't quite get the level of football I wanted, but we got some.
It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Coming.
We didn't. I want to see some complicated build-up structures. I want to see some pressing systems. I want to see, I want to see some Deserby
All
ball
in
full
good time,
flight,
Sim. All in good time.
possession-based stuff. I want to see Tonali running the session, running the game. I want to see Fernandez twisting and turning.
All in good time.
It'll happen. It'll
It's
happen.
coming.
But
It's
we're
coming.
getting drips and drabs of little training things. Still a bit too much gym work for my liking. I don't need to see them in the gym. All right, go to the gym and see people in the gym. I don't need to do that. I want to see football.
I think, I just can't wait to get to Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday's gonna be big.
Hotspur way. Didn't think I would say that, but I just cannot wait to see Spurs play in a pre-season against MK Dons. But this is what we're here for. Football. Spurs on the pitch. It's been way too long, and it's going to be such a different Spurs. Do you reckon in this first game against MK Dons we're going to be like it was when Ange took his first pre-season game? We were all just like, wow, that's just attacking football. Is it going to be like that?
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? There's going to be players who surprise us, I reckon, this pre-season. Can't wait for it. I can't wait
Who do you
for it.
reckon's going to be? Who's your prediction for the biggest surprise in pre-season?
I reckon I'm going to go Ashley Phillips.
Phillips.
I reckon Phillips is
He
going to
always
surprise
has a
few
decent
people.
pre-season, Phillips.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it's going to be. I reckon someone like Lancashire might smash it out in this pre-season.
That'd be great. That'd be so good. If he can smash out and prove his worth and then stay, that'll be
Maybe
top.
Mikey.
Definitely Mikey's an option as well. Look, I mean, it's hard not to get excited when you're looking at their finishing montages. I mean, they're maybe only adding the clips where they scored, but they seem to really be working on a lot of that stuff. So let's see how they go over the summer. Maybe they're hoping they're pushing each other to get to the best, and if we can have those two as part of the squad, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So in terms of where are we at with pre-season?
We're doing a predicted lineup already.
No, well, that's coming. That's coming next week. So it's got MK Dons on Wednesday, and then we fly out already. We fly out next week on the tour. Oh wow! Didn't realise the tour's so soon.
4:30 Sunday morning. Bloody hell.
Yeah. So they probably fly out probably just after the game, probably the day after the game or something. And then it's Auckland, on Sunday morning, 4:30 in the morning. Let us know in the live chat. Are you going to be tuning into that watch along 4:30 kickoff in the morning?
Of course they will. It's going to be record numbers.
4:30 kickoff in the morning. Who's joining in for that? Are you even Spurs if you don't tune in at 4:30 in the morning? Elias is saying no.
No,
he's not.
Of course you will.
No
Come
way,
on,
Jan. Everyone's saying no. We'll be there, people. We will be there. So then, so that's Sunday. Then it's Wednesday. We play at 10:45 in the morning against Sydney, and then the Saturday is Chelsea at 10:45. Then Saturday, Getafe. Saturday, Hoffenheim. Sunday, Hoffenheim, and then it's the big kickoff.
It's all getting closer and closer.
So what have we got?
Don't we have more behind closed doors ones?
Yeah, a few of those I mentioned are behind closed doors. I think Getafe is behind closed. The only one that's in the stadium is Hoffenheim. Everyone else, and obviously the ones on the tour. So yeah, it's sick, man. In the next, we've got 2 games a week. Next week and the week after.
Gonna be buzzing.
Who says this team are not going to play 2 games a week?
Exactly. They're doing it, so if you can handle 2 games a week now, it's going to be easier when you're only doing 1 game during the season.
True. But yeah, let us know how excited you are for pre-season. Are you as excited as us? We'll be here for each and every watch along, and I cannot wait for it. Bit of awkward timings, but something we're just going to have to live with and get around. But I want to thank you all for joining us today. Everyone, do go to OK Jersey if you want one of these, if you want one of those. So many more shirts that you can get as well, all customizable, obviously, and do get a size up. It's already cheap, but it'll be even cheaper if you use our code SPURS for 10% off the home shirt and the away shirt. Now they're on the site for you to purchase. But yeah, that's it from us today. We'll see you all very, very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.